What up, random rockers? May as well just take this hat off. I mean, because it's not a review. This is a vlog I hadn't been doing in a while, and and this one was something I've been pondering on doing, but every time I did, there was always led me to an angry fit that would have just made it worse instead of better. That would be the whole incident. I'm going to call it the Fratellis incident. If you're wondering why, for some of you, 35 of you, I guess 35 of you, I'm not sure if it's really 35, because sometimes it might be somebody watching it twice, or whoever knows how many times. So, this is my way of addressing that. I know a couple of you who are still subscribed, not even sure if you even bother to watch it. Hopefully you... So you and those involved with your family members, those who know who I'm talking... Those of you, you all should know who I'm talking about. Yes. That apology is to you and to that one particular person that was involved from right around the beginning of that video. I've only left it unlisted, but that's mostly because in case anyone who actually cares enough about what I honestly did have to say at the time, granted probably not a whole lot, because I mean, I got a lot of dislikes, but I think that was more for what I had said on Rita, that particular person, than the album itself, but I'm not entirely sure on that either. But in case you kind of wanted to see it, I just left it unlisted, and more likely, if anything, only people who would have the link, so more than likely anyone who's seen it on the Facebook page would be able to get to see it, and that's it. But that's not much of anything either, because there's not a whole lot going on with that. So I wanted to address that, and also, while I was at it, I wanted to mostly address that, given it's a Memorial Day weekend, more than likely I will not be able to upload any videos until Tuesday, because usually it's a Monday by the time I upload, so just figured I'd forewarn you of that. And the one video I was hoping to do at this current moment that I am recording this, I am not going to do until probably then. So, plus I need to dive into lyrics a little more, because sometimes, especially with this one, it's still good. I mean, the album is good. It's been 20 years since that record as well. Another one I could also think of doing that I know I also have in my catalog, I might think of doing, might not be nearly as fond and hit it as much here in the heart as it does that album review. I'm trying to be vague because I don't want to spoil it, because by the time it comes out, you guys, hopefully you guys will be like, oh my god! You know, that's kind of what I want to get out of that one. So, and I want it to be fun, because it's still a fun record to me, and so yeah, that's kind of what that is about with that. But anyways, back to that whole Fratellis incident. If anything, I doubt she'll see this unless I leave her a link to it. But yeah, honestly, can you blame me for the way I reacted at all? Because let's face it, the way this thing ended, I didn't like it at all. I don't think she did either as much, but the thing is, we weren't on the same page. I still wanted to keep the relationship going, but she didn't. It was the weirdest topsy-turvy of how things started to begin with. And it does bum me out, because now I don't know any other woman who will ever look at me the way she did, or think of me the way she originally did. the way she saw me the first time. And that bums me out. It still bums me out. It's been months. It's been months. And I was even originally going to get rid of the Weezer one, but I just couldn't do that. I couldn't do that. And looking back on it, really didn't badmouth her at all. I just addressed what happened. And I don't know if I really did in any of my... I don't know if I seeped in any of that in my other reviews. I kind of might have in some, but... really, I think it's more than likely it wound up being in that review. For sure, if anything. Because it... and I had to give her that album, so if the case you see me doing certain reviews in the room, you're not going to see it there because I couldn't do it. I couldn't. It hurt too much. And it's not even really a bad album. It just personally, I just couldn't be professional about it. And for that, I am sorry for you guys. You guys probably deserve better, even though I may not be able to fully give you better in terms of quality. I do what I can with what I have, and that wasn't one of those issues. That wasn't the case with that, and for that, I am sorry for those of you loyal subscribers, viewers, or actually loyal random rockers at this point. And yeah, and it still hurts. It didn't help. It became even more obvious just seeing her look at me. I miss the days she could look at me fondly. I miss too much of everything because we had too much in common, and it just hurt too much. And I didn't handle the way the breakup was maybe the best, but at the same time, I can't help but still justify how it happened. It's hard for me to truly explain it. Hell, I even feel like I need to kind of address it to her myself. Personally, after I'm done with this, I don't know. I'm debating on that myself right now, but again, can you really blame me with it entirely? Because it was a bad breakup. And one where I didn't want to have it end, because I'm at an age where I don't really have any confidence left to, and not much hair left either, I just can't. It still sucks. I can't deal with it. I don't want to look at her the way I look at everything else or myself in the mirror. I don't want to see failure. Another one of my failures. Keeping this relationship was something the ending of this relationship being that when it comes to that, it's another failure for me. And that was one I didn't want to have to fail. I know I screwed up a lot of times in that. In increments at times in the relationship, but I've been so used to that in my own life, and even to the extent of this channel success in and of itself. But I didn't, and to the point where I wanted to quit doing this, but I kept trucking along, and sometimes I don't know about that anymore. Which is heck, even partially why, fingers crossed, between that one old school review I want to do, and that I am for sure going to do, and the Tremonti album, which is going to might take longer to do, to get to actually doing the video, if I wind up doing it right and actually having to read more than listen, which is the only hype out of that I might get. And I just don't know, man. It still bums me out. I know for people who know me and you're seeing this, they're not willing to pity me. I'm not asking for it. I can't. I can't even for my own self. So it's just, it just still bums me out. I don't want to, because I'm done failing. I'm done with it. And I wish I could still say that'd be true as well. It's affected my job. And it's not like the thing that, or it's affected how I am within my job sometimes. Like, if not for being around loud equipment, when I have to just externally rant it out because I can't keep it internally in myself without it exploding out because of my own disability. Just having that kind of thing to where I can't keep something internal. I remain introvert up to a point, and then I explode extrovertly. And it's, I don't know if that, it's just one of those kind of social functioning lack of communication skills things that, as someone who has a high functioning autism thing, deals with. And then it's just, I've nearly at times had thought about, and given that this is technically still a month where you're dealing with mental illness, but even though what I deal with day to day is a mental disorder, but just what happened with it has led me to a point of even somewhat of a downward spiral of an existential crisis of a downward spiral. I don't know how to word it, but that's kind of what it's done. It's kind of wrecked me faith-wise, which is why some of these ones that kind of jab at it, I'm starting to get something out of more because of it. And even listening back to, I'm somewhat of I like to say I'm a man of God, but right now I'm not. And I was very faith-based when it came to the relationship we have, and I've lost some of that because of this. If I have stayed involved with it, I've only felt like I'm just going through motions. Just as much as I am with my own job and with everything else that I've been doing with my life. And I just miss having some sense of gratification. And that's why I was really happy to have this relationship. And when I knew it ended, I knew I was going to wind up back where I had started before. And I never wanted to go back to that, because when it came to me being single at the age I am right now, well, there's not much else I really think I can say about this. And it bums me out more because I had an outlet, and I knew that out, and it bums me more because between the band and my relationship with her, I was expecting the band to fall first and not the relationship. And when that happened, what really upsets me more about it, actually, now I think about it, it was also the fact of the package deal that came with her. And that was her family. And the community that within not only her family, but within her church. And I was involved in her choir, too. So I felt like I was part of something. I've had some sense of fulfillment in my life through her and her family. And now I felt like when she did that, she cut me off of something. I felt like part of something more. Something more. And the days where it didn't feel like that was really bummed me out, too. And I was glad that those days just were able to breeze by. And then this happened, and it still didn't help when the birthday thing happened, when they said that, and it made me feel like it hurt. It still hurt, and it still does. In momentary spots, and I still can't forget some of the things about her at all, and it bothers me that she just thinks I didn't care when I still do, and when I did care, and I still do. I mean, not as much anymore because of what she did, but and I'm doing my best to make this a proper apology to them, to her and her family, and it's from the Fratellis incident, but I'm not sure how to really address this and not go into this. I mean, I'm not streaming about it, at least. I guess that's progress, but I just... Yeah, it's a lot of sighing, a lot of all that stuff. It's just life, I guess. I don't know. And I almost briefly thought when I met this one dude who had a worse issue, where he had his potential bride-to-be walk out on him, and he was 29, and he's the same age as me, and we don't really talk as much, and I think he knows my intentions or at least my end goals are pretty clear in me trying to move on. I kind of don't feel like moving on as much, and part of me kind of wants to, but yet at the same time I'm like, part of me wants to still tell her that I kind of want to wait for her, but I think even after the Fratellis incident, the damage is done. I'm just trying to do what I can to at least give them the stitches to heal up from it, I guess, and maybe for myself, I don't know anymore at this point. But yeah, that's what this was. That's what this is. I'm finally just happy I can finally address it properly, and hopefully more maturely than I have been. And yeah, and that's it, guys. And hopefully, yeah, and the band thing isn't done. I don't think it's a hiatus thing, but it feels like it's done to me, because I don't know how much between my cousin, our guitar player, and our drummer, and his kid, and them embracing being family men now, how much it's going to affect how the band is. But I don't, and it bums me out that I may not be able to have that as a proper outlet anymore, and it's kind of screwed me up in terms of inspiring me musically at the moment, and I want to do some random other things with music, I guess, at least on this channel too. And I'm thinking I might do an alteration for sure this time with the name. And you might see it by the time I upload this video. I don't know yet, but I figured I'd let you guys know that and address the Fratellis incident, even though most of you may not care as much anymore. And it's been months ago since it's happened, but I've been wanting to find a way to address it and not get angry, not get mad, and not sound like I'm dissing that person or their family, or which the family was never the problem at all. It was mostly just with her, and I've just gained a sense of resentment towards her and in turn towards God, because I felt like I was somewhat one with him through her, and I'm just kind of I've just been in a bad place mentally and even spiritually, I guess you would say, and that's kind of what that has been for me. So I'm addressing that now, and I'm sorry if it's super long, but I had to get a lot out, or at least attempt to try to get a lot out, despite a few pauses here and there throughout this video. And Alright, well, I guess until my next video, keep her in, keep it rocking, I guess, and, well, take care, y'all, and have a happy, or at least a better than better than, if in my case, Memorial Day weekend. So yeah, take care. I don't even know how to end this video at this point, but screw it. See ya.